seem to know a lot about Hinduism. Where can I start if I wanted to look into? I tried once, but it is so confusing. I find it the easiest of all the religions, dude. I really do. My best piece of advice would be read the sutras of Patanjali, the threads. They'll give you a very comprehensive grasp on Hinduism. And then, of course, you can read the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, that's a staple. But what I like about the sutras is I can get the sutras. Actually, the sutras are here. Here are the sutras. Right, sutras actually mean threads in Western English vernacular. And basically all the sutras are threads of spiritual insights in 4 books. One is contemplation, so contemplation of a spiritual path. I'll go through them now. The second book is on practice. The third book is on accomplishments. And the 4th book is on absoluteness. I really like the 4th book because they talk about these things called buddhis, right? A buddhi, I believe it's called a buddhi, is, no, it's not buddhi, it's siddhi. It's a siddhi. Siddhi is a spiritual superpower. So you get things like, if you ever read Autobiography of the Yogi, you get yogis who have siddhis in levitation. Yogis that have sutras, siddhis in foresight. They can tell the future. Some that can go invisible, right? Now, of course, you have to take what's being said here with a pinch of salt. Then again, there's something about reading Autobiography of a Yogi and the nonchalant way in which he describes these things. Because it's a narrative, the book is like a journal, like a diary from his point of view. And he's got really no reason to lie. And you talk about contemporaries of Paramahansa Yogananda, and, they're all, very, very spiritual, elevated people. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point here, but this is great because it's not a narrative. It's not I have to read it front to back. I mean, you should, because it's a really good read. But this will give you a really excellent interpretation of. I'll give you a good one actually, because what I like about it here is it's got the Sanskrit. It's got the Siddhi, yogic superpower. Appreciate you, Kunde. It's got the Sanskrit here, so I don't know if you guys can see, but it's got the Sanskrit and then the translation. And this is one on number 38. Book 2, portion on practice. By one established in continence, vigor is gained. Yeah. So by establishing continence or celibacy, we save energy. Virya means vital energy. Somebody talking about vril earlier. I wonder where that came from, eh? Virya in Vedic vernacular. Virya means vital energy. When there is no loss of virya, we gain energy. What we gain by saving this is worth knowing. In the name of loving and giving, many times we lose this energy and become mentally and physically depleted. If we are not strong mentally and physically, we can never gain real spiritual wealth. Rudolf Steiner, an occultist, once said that you cannot perceive the spiritual platform until you are continent, because continence, virya, is needed to develop spiritual organs, spiritual senses. It's like if you had no eyes, you would never see. If you had no nose, you would never know smell. If you have no spiritual organs, you will not sense spirit, you will not sense God. It's a wild thing to say. It's part of our evolution. And you know what's really interesting about this concept is the idea that when you're a teenager, right? Or when you're a child and you're growing, why you are not sexually active when you're a child. And there is reasoning to believe that is studied in some occultic text is the reason why you're not sexually active as a child is because you need that energy for growth. You need it for evolution. You need all that energy. You can't be 7 years old and we'll let you fill in the blank, because you need that energy to grow. You need that energy to grow. And then you make the idea, well, if I was sexually continent when I was 7 years old and I was compelled to because I needed to grow, what if I am continent now after puberty? Maybe I grow again. Maybe I evolve again. And people have made that comparison. I'm not a pioneer in that regard. People have made that comparison many, many times. That's what Rudolf Steiner said. That's what these yogis say. That's what they say. This is what I'm reading right now. The main cause for present chaotic condition amongst the young is ignorance around virya. The case of brahmacharya is like that. The seminal fluid gives strength and stamina to the brain and nerves. Nervous debility is caused by a lack of stamina because it has all been drained. This is a book that has been written years, centuries, hundreds of years ago. It's a good book. It's a great book. Really interesting book. It's another good recommendation, by the way.